Hello, everyone. I am Maureen Turner. I am the Membership and Community Engagement Lead for the Halton Hills Chamber of Commerce. And today I am joined by Susan Lawrenson, the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Halton North. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me this morning.
Oh, thank you for joining me. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what exactly it is that the Community Foundation of Halton North does?
Absolutely. Community foundations have three purposes. So what we do is we build endowments, we grant back into the community, and we foster philanthropic leadership. And I just want to read a statement that we just recently wrote to help understand the Community Foundation. So
Perfect.
with CFHN, generous donors and local volunteers annually direct long-term funds into the community, providing carefree philanthropy, flexible enough for any and all charities. It is for the good of the community, and it is also forever. So the Community Foundation is for good forever. And hopefully I'll be able to explain that a little bit more in our little chat here today.
I love that. So let's start with how can somebody give forever?
Okay, so what happens is when a person makes an individual or a family or a corporation makes a donation to the Community Foundation of Halton North, that donation is not spent. That principal is not spent. It is invested. And it is the revenue generated from that investment, which then goes back to the community in the form of grants. And so that's how we can do that forever, because the principal is always there. It's never spent. And then each year it grows and grows. And so every year we're able to provide support. If you think about it in the terms of a scholarship, I worked for a university for years, and there was the class of 1905 that had a scholarship. And I kept thinking, this was in my younger days, I kept thinking, but there's probably no one alive from the class of 1905. But what it was money was put away, and it was the revenue generated from that principal, that endowment, that was able to provide that scholarship each and every year. Community Foundation is the same. We're able to provide that grant each and every year from that generous donation, which of course is we are a charity, so we can receipt that original donation that goes into the endowment.
Perfect. So even if somebody doesn't feel like they can give a huge amount, they can give a little amount, and that sort of goes into a bigger pot that as an endowment creates the money which goes out to the community. Right?
Absolutely, and everyone can be a philanthropist. So let's say you want to start a fund and you have $1,000 that you want to give to charity, and so you chose the Community Foundation of Halton North, and you can give that, and we will invest that, and then each and every year the interest invested in that will go back in the form of grants. But now that you have this fund established, let's say every milestone, so for birthdays or Christmases or anniversaries or retirements, you can say, I want you to make a donation to my fund to help build this fund because it is for the betterment of the community. And so that's why a person can build their fund, or they themselves can every year say, okay, I'm going to donate to this fund. And we have many donors, many fund holders who have started with a smaller amount, an amount that's comfortable for them. And each and every year they give an amount that is comfortable for them to grow their endowment each and every year.
I love that. And how much of it goes back into the community?
Okay, so you've caught us at a time right now where there's some changes to legislation, but I'm going to talk to you about the old legislation because that is still valid for 2013, 2023. 3.5% goes back to the community. So 3.5%. So if someone has $1 million that they've put into an endowment, each and every year, 35,000 will go back into the community in the form of grants. Now, it might not seem like a lot when somebody starts off, I've given you $1 million and all you're giving out is 35,000, but this is all about for good forever.
Right.
So in about 20 years, depending on the market, that $1 million will have been given out. So it's not a terribly long period of time. And that $1 million is still in the endowment. Plus, we top up. So if there is more than 3.5% that has been given out or has been generated that year, that money goes back into the endowment to grow the endowment, so it will continue to grow. There'll continue to be a cushion between the original principal and what we're giving out, and so we'll never be encroaching upon the principal when we're able to build that kind of cushion. And then, of course, your $1 million becomes $1,050,000, and now you're giving out percentage on that, so you're actually giving out more than what you had originally given out as we build up the endowment. So that's how that works. Now, new legislation is coming in, and it will be moving up to 5%, and that will happen next year. So
amazing.
That $1 million will become 50,000, and that is a new government legislation, and we're just working on that right now.
Okay, and so what types of charities can people give to through you, and can they choose which charities?
Absolutely. So it has to be a qualified donee, but again, the legislation is changing on that. So stay tuned about that one, because we might be able to give to non-qualified donees, so not-for-profits. But right now we are just giving to qualified donees, which are charities. Anything that has a charitable registration number is someone that we can donate to. So the Halton Hills Public Library has a Friends of the Library. They have a charitable registration number. So they are, we are able to donate to them. The hospital, the Georgetown Hospital, we're able to donate to them. Acton, Acton Town Hall, we are able to donate to them because they have a registered charitable number. Places of worship, healthcare, social services, arts organizations. It's not just health and welfare. It is anything that's a charitable that has a charitable registration number that we can support. So we can support sports and recreation. We can support the environment. Like I said, places of worship, education, health and welfare, arts and culture. We can just be there for everyone.
Amazing. So let's say somebody's watching this video, they've got their $1,000 or $10,000 or $50,000 that they're wondering, what should I do with this? How do they get hold of you to find out how they can make this happen?
Absolutely. So our website, first of all, is www.cfhn.ca. And all of our contact information is there. So if you forget, that's where you can find our contact information. My name is Susan Lawrenson. I go by Sue. And my phone number is 905-864-9211. Or you can reach me via email at slawrenson@cfhn.ca. And I can walk you through all the parameters to meet your philanthropic wishes and to make your philanthropic dreams come true.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sue. It was great to learn about Community Foundation of Halton North.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.